Hello friends, in this lecture I will focus on efficiency of a transformer and voltage regulation of transformer. But before going to efficiency of a transformer, let's discuss a very important question generally asked in transformer, and the question is why a transformer is rated in VA or kVA. So the answer to this question is that since losses in transformer depends on current and voltage only and not on the phase angle between voltage and current, that is, the losses in transformer is independent of load power factor and depends only on current and voltage. Hence a transformer is rated in VA or kVA. This kVA is for kilovolt ampere and normally VA is volt ampere. kVA is a larger unit. So why this loss depend losses in transformer depend on current and voltage only is that, see, in a transformer we have mainly two losses, and that losses are copper loss and core loss, and this copper loss is a variable loss which is written like I square R. So this copper loss depend only on current I, and if we consider this core loss, then this core loss consists of two losses, hysteresis loss and eddy current loss. And for a given frequency or at working frequency, this core loss, that means hysteresis loss and eddy current loss, both depend only on flux density. See, if you recall the formula for eddy current loss and hysteresis loss, you would get that this eddy current loss depend on Bmax raised to power 2, and hysteresis loss depends on Bmax raised to power I, where I is between 1.5 to 2.5, and normally its value is considered to be 2. So this core loss depend on flux density, and since induced EMF in a transformer depend on flux density, see here, this induced EMF depend on flux density, so this core loss indirectly depend on induced EMF. And also, if I am considering this to be a transformer, then supply voltage V1 is almost equals to induced EMF E1 at any load or at all the load. So this core loss depend indirectly on supply voltage V1 only. Hence we find that this copper loss depend on current and core loss depend on voltage, and there is overall loss depends on current and voltage only, that is product of current and voltage. So this is the reason why we rate transformer in VA or kVA. Now let's see the efficiency of transformer. So what is efficiency? Efficiency is output upon input, and for transformer efficiency can be defined as ratio of useful output power to the input power. And since we don't have any moving part in transformer, so efficiency of transformer is generally more than 96%, and best way to measure efficiency of transformer is to use OCSC test. See, there is another simple method to find efficiency of transformer, and in that method you can use a wattmeter. Suppose this is the transformer, and to find efficiency use one wattmeter here and find output power, and using another wattmeter here you can find input power. So output power upon input power will give you efficiency of the transformer. But since this wattmeter reading is not 100% accurate, this also has some error. So because of that error, the efficiency calculated will be not accurate. Hence we can use OCSC test to find efficiency of a transformer, and from this OCSC test actually we can find losses of the transformer. See, this OC test or open circuit test will give you core loss, and SC test or short circuit test will give you copper loss. And since we know that efficiency of transformer is output upon input, and input can be written like output plus losses, so we have losses from OCSC test, and we also can measure output from VI cos phi 2, and this efficiency can also be written like 1 minus losses upon output plus losses. This can be obtained from here only. And losses are what? Core loss, also known as iron loss, and this is a constant loss which depend only on supply voltage V1 and is independent of load. And copper loss is variable loss, and we denote it by PCU, Cu for copper, and it can be written like, copper losses are in this winding plus copper losses in this winding. So in this winding copper loss is I1 square R1, and in this winding copper loss is I2 square R2. So overall copper loss is what? I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2. And if I refer this secondary to primary side, then I will have I1 square R equivalent 1. That will be the total copper loss, because this parameters are transferred here when I refer secondary to primary, and current flowing through this part is then I1, and overall equivalent resistance will be R equivalent 1. So this R equivalent 1 is actually equivalent resistance referred to, okay, this is not secondary, this is primary. This is primary side, and here R equivalent 2 is equivalent resistance referred to the secondary. So this is secondary. So overall copper losses is what? This is I1 square R1 plus I2 square R2. This can be written like I1 square R equivalent 1 when referred to primary side, and this is also equals to I2 square R equivalent 2 when referred to secondary side. See, I2 square R equivalent 2, how? When we refer this primary to secondary side, we will have R equivalent 2 here, and current flowing through that resistance is I2. So copper loss will be I2 square R equivalent 2. And from this formula we can see that copper loss vary with current I as square of load current. And since this I1 also depend on I2, see, why load current only? Here I2 is load current, so when we use this formula I2 square R equivalent 2, we see that this copper loss vary with I2 square or square of the load current. And this I1 is also this I1 is this IE plus I1 prime, and IE is very small, so I1 is approximately equals to I1 prime, and this I1 prime is counterpart of this I2, so I1 prime depends on I2, and hence I1 depends on I2. So I1 square R equivalent 1 is also indirectly dependent on load current. So copper loss vary with square of the load current. Now to get the overall efficiency of transformer, we need to know transformer output, and transformer output P naught can be written like V2 I2 cos theta 2. See, V2 I2 cos theta 2, because output power will be in watt. So output transformer output P naught will be V2 I2 cos theta 2, and where cos theta 2 is load power factor. So efficiency is what? Output upon output plus losses. So this is V2 I2 cos theta 2 upon V2 I2 cos theta 2 plus this is the losses, and losses are what? Pi, which is core loss, plus I2 square R equivalent 2. Here what is this V2? V2 is rated secondary voltage, and this V2 varies slightly with the load. and hence we can consider this V2 to be constant almost. If I divide in efficiency by I2 in numerator and denominator, I will have eta like this. Eta is efficiency, and for maximum efficiency, to get maximum efficiency for a given power factor, to get maximum efficiency, this denominator must be minimum, or this denominator must have least value. Since V2 is almost constant because there is a very little variation or slight variation in V2 with load, hence varying variable here is I2 only. So to get that condition for maximum value of overall efficiency or minimum value of this denominator, we differentiate denominator with respect to current I2 and equate that derivation or derivative to the 0. So what we do, we find dy di2 of this denominator, see, and its derivative is like this. When I take derivative, then d by di2 of v2 cos theta 2 will be 0 because v2 cos theta 2 is independent of di2. So and then d by di2 of p upon I2 will be minus of pi upon I2 square, and d by di2 of I2 R equivalent 2 will be simply R equivalent 2. So this is the derivative, required derivative, and to get minimum value of this, or to get minimum value of denominator, this derivative must be 0. So comparing this derivative to 0, we will have this relation, minus of pi upon I2 square plus R equivalent 2 is 0. So I2 square equals to pi upon R equivalent 2. Now see from this equation what we have. We have pi equals to I2 square R equivalent 2, and if I go back in this lecture only, then this I2 square R equivalent 2 is nothing but copper loss, and pi is core loss. So for maximum efficiency, the condition is that copper loss, which is variable loss, that must be equals to core loss, which is constant loss. So this is the condition for maximum efficiency, and the condition is copper loss is equals to core loss, and this is full load copper loss actually. So this is the maximum efficiency condition, and maximum efficiency is V2 I2 cos theta 2 divided by V2 I2 cos theta 2 plus 2 pi, because pi is that variable loss is also constant loss. So that I2 square R equivalent to is pi. So pi plus pi, that is 2 pi. So this is the formula for, sorry, this is not, this is the formula for efficiency at full load, but at any general load, the efficiency can be written like this. At any general load means at x fraction of I2, what should be efficiency? To get efficiency at a general load xi2, just replace this I2 by xi2. So the formula will be V2 xi2 cos theta 2 divided by V2 xi2 cos theta 2 plus pi plus xi2 square R2. And here this V2 I2, actually this V2 I2 is nothing but kVA rating of transformer, and x is x, that is used to find a general load. So overall efficiency will be, see, V2 I2 is S, so x S cos theta 2 divided by x, V2 I2 is S again, x S cos theta 2 plus pi plus, now here this is x I2 square R2. So I will get x square I2 square R2. I2 square R2 is P copper loss at full load, and here it is X square. So this is the efficiency for general load, where S is rated kVA or VA rating of transformer. Pi is constant, this core loss. PCU is copper loss at full load or full load copper loss, and cos theta 2 is load power factor. So this is all about efficiency of transformer. Now let's look at a problem based on this efficiency. So the question is like, a 500 kVA transformer has an efficiency of 95% at full load and also at 60% of full load, both at unity power factor. So you have to separate out the losses of the transformer and determine the efficiency of transformer at 3/4 full load and 0.9 power factor. So from here, from this question, it is given that transformer's efficiency is 95% at full load and also at 60% of full load. So a general formula for efficiency is X as cos theta 2 divided by X as cos theta 2 plus Pi plus X square P copper, where P copper is copper loss at full load, S is rated kVA, and X is used to denote general load. And here from the question we have 95% efficiency for this load and unity power factor. Since unity power factor is given, so cos theta 2 is 1. S here is 500 kVA, so considering all the units in K only, so S will be 500. So efficiency is what? For full load unity power factor. If it is full load, then X equals to 1. So it is 1 multiplied by 500 multiplied by cos theta 2 is also 1 divided by 500, because this value will be 500, plus Pi plus P copper, because X is 1. This is equal to 0.95. Also efficiency is 95% at 60% of full load. 60% of full load, that means X equals to 60 upon 100 or X equals to 0.6, and unity power factor is there, so cos theta 2 is again 1. So using substituting these values in this formula, we have X equals to 0.6, S equals to 500, cos theta 2 is 1. So we have 500 into 0.6, this is 500, this is 0.6, cos theta 2 is 1, so no need to write it again and again, divided by 500 into 0.6 plus Pi plus 0.6 square, see here 0.6 square multiplied by PCU, actually this is P copper and Cu, it should be like Cu, okay, this is PCU, and this is also 0.95. So 95% means 0.95 actually. If you multiply this quantity by 100, then it will be in percentage, but if it is not multiplied by 100, so it is in fraction. So from these two equations I can calculate this Pi and this PCU. So solving these two equations, I will have Pi is 9.87 kilowatt. Why kilowatt? Because I have used here 500 and hence kilo is involved in this already. So Pi is 9.87 kilowatt and P copper is 16.45 kilowatt. So this is answer for this question. Now I have to determine efficiency of transformer at 3/4 full load and 0.9 power factor. So since I have to use same transformer, and here x equals to 3/4 means 0.75, cos theta 2 should be 0.9, pi I have calculated here, p copper full load I have calculated here. So eta is x as cos theta 2 divided by x as cos theta 2 plus pi plus x square pcu, and these are the values that I have to put here. This pcu is copper loss at full load, pi is independent of load. So substituting these values in this, eta can be calculated, and that will be 85.63%. So this is all about efficiency of transformer. Next is voltage regulation. Now before going into the detail of voltage regulation, let me explain some importance of voltage regulation. Means what is importance of voltage regulation? Actually any domestic, commercial or industrial load requires constant voltage, because if there is fluctuation or variation in voltage, then that may damage the load. Load may be like your fan or anything, electrical appliances connect. So actually what happens in when we connect a load across a transformer, see, if there is no load here, means if it is open circuited, in that case voltage across the output of this transformer is can be denoted by V2 naught or no load voltage. And when we connect load here, so if suppose I am connecting load L1, in that case this current I2 will be some current I21 suppose, and hence in that case this V2 will be something different. And if I connect here load L2, in that case current will be some I22 suppose, then this voltage will be not V21, it will be some different voltage like V22. So this voltage across load changes when we change this load or power factor of this load. And to measure this variation of change in output voltage with change in load, we use some figure of merit, and that figure of merit is this voltage regulation. So what we need from a transformer, the output voltage of transformer must not vary, or it should be within a narrow limit when we change load and its power factor. And this change in output voltage with changing load can be characterized by voltage regulation. A proper definition of voltage regulation can be like this. It is defined as, or voltage regulation can be defined as change in magnitude of the secondary voltage when full load of specified power factor supplied at rated voltage is thrown off, that is reduced to no load, with primary voltage held constant as percentage of rated load terminal. In simple language, we can say that voltage regulation is change in voltage from no load to full load divided by full load voltage. And when we want voltage regulation in percentage, then I will multiply this fraction by 100. So here this percentage regulation is mathematically V2 naught minus V2 full load upon V2 full load into 100, where V2 full load is rated secondary voltage at full load and V2 naught is secondary voltage at no load. See, this is equivalent. So now how to calculate this? Actually, if I can calculate this V2 naught minus V2 full load, then I can calculate this voltage regulation. And our ideally this V2 naught minus V2 full load should be 0, and practically it should be as small as possible, so that we get constant voltage across the output of transformer. and this output of transformer acts like input to the load, so it output voltage across transformer should not vary very much. So now let's see how to calculate this. Suppose this is the equivalent circuit of transformer referred to secondary side. So this is the circuit, and I have neglected that parallel branch because IE is almost 0, so I can neglect that branch easily. So here it is R, X and the load. Here I have terminal voltage V2 and this is supply which is V1. I am considering this circuit, then this V2 no load means V2 no load is nothing but supply voltage V1, because see what happens if I disconnect this load, then V2 is V1 as no current will be flowing through this circuit, so there is no voltage drop across this R and X, and V2 will be V1, and this V2 is V2 at no load, so this is V2 naught is V1, and V2 full load will be when we have full load at this output. So to calculate this V2 naught minus V2 FL, we will draw phasor diagram for V2 full load and V2 naught. So this is the V2, or in short this V2 full load can be denoted by simply V2. So when we draw phasor diagram, suppose this is your V2, and considering lagging power factor, if I consider lagging power factor or considering load to be lagging, then I2 will lag this V2. Hence from this circuit diagram what we see, we can see that V1 is I2R2 plus I2X2 plus V2, and this R2 and X2 are actually are equivalent to X equivalent to, so V2 is here, and then I have I2 R2 equivalent, and this is your X2 I2 X E2 equivalent, so V2 plus I2 R equivalent to plus I2 X equivalent to will give you supply V1, and this is the angle theta 2, and I can consider this V1 to be like this only, means I can approximate this OA to be equals to OE, because this angle delta will be small. OE is what? This length plus this length plus this length, and this length is V2. This length is what? This angle is theta 2, so this angle is also theta 2, and this length is IERE2, so this length will be what? This length will be I2R equivalent to into cos theta 2, and this length is I2X equivalent to this angle is theta 2, so this length can be approximated like I2X equivalent to sin theta 2. So overall length OEE will be V2 plus I2R equivalent to cos theta 2 plus I2X equivalent to sin theta 2, and this is for lagging power factor load. So what we have, V1 minus V2 will be like this BE, because OE is approximated to be this OE is approximated to be V1, and OB is V2, so V1 minus V2 is nothing but V2 no load minus V2 full load, and that difference is BE. So BE is what? V1 minus V2, and that is equals to what? I2 R equivalent to cos theta 2 plus I2X equivalent to sin theta 2. So this is the difference of V1 minus V2 for lagging load. Now if you consider leading load, in that case the phasor diagram will be like this. This is your V2, and since this is leading power factor or load is considered to be leading load, so current I2 will lead voltage V2, and this angle is theta 2, so this is I2 and this is V2. Now also for this case also V1 will be equals to I1, this V1 will be I2 R equivalent to plus I2 X equivalent to plus V2. So I have to add I2 R equivalent to plus J I2 X equivalent to this V2. So here is our V2. Then I will add I2 R equivalent to this V2, and again I add J I2 X equivalent to. So this is J I2 X equivalent to, hence it will lead this I2 X equivalent to will lead this I2 R equivalent to by 90 degree, because this is having J term with it, and hence this will be your V1. So V1 is what? V2 plus I2 R equivalent to plus J I2 X equivalent to. This is your V1. Now here also, when I have to calculate that V1 minus V2, then we will see that this is like V2 plus, since this angle is theta 2, so we will, using the same concept as I used here, we will find that V1 minus V2 will be something like this difference, and this difference is what? This X component of this phasor will be like I2 R equivalent to cos theta 2, and this is backward, so it will have sin theta 2 component in negative direction. So I2 R equivalent to cos theta 2 minus I2 X equivalent to sin theta 2. I have written it like I2 R2 and I2 X2 only here, but this is basically R2 R equivalent to, means overall equivalent resistance across secondary, and this is overall equivalent inductive reactance across secondary. So V1 minus V2 will be for leading power factor like this: I2 R2 cos theta 2 minus I2 X2 sin theta 2, and hence V1 minus V2 can be written like I2 R2 cos theta 2 plus minus I2 X2 sin theta 2. Plus is for lagging power factor, minus is for leading power factor. So from this formula of V1 minus V2, we can see that this terminal voltage V2 can be more than supply voltage V1 for leading power factor load if this theta 2 is more than tan inverse of R2 upon X2. See, V1 minus V2, to get this you can calculate this by V1 minus V2 is less than 0, and for that I2 R2 cos theta 2 minus I2 X2 sin theta 2 should be less than 0. So equate I2 R2 cos theta 2 minus I2 X2 sin theta 2 equals to 0. From there we will get this condition: for theta 2 greater than tan inverse R2 upon X2, you will get that this terminal voltage V2 will be more than supply voltage V1. And since we have V1 minus V2, where this V2 is full load secondary voltage, so this V1 minus V2 I have calculated. So percentage regulation will be what? I2 R2 cos theta 2 plus minus I2 X2 sin theta 2 divided by V2 multiplied by 100, and plus sign is for lagging power factor, minus sign is for leading power factor. So this is all about voltage regulation. Now we will see a numerical on voltage regulation. The question is, for a 20 kVA 50 Hz 2000/200 volt distribution transformer, we have R equivalent H equals to 3 and X equivalent H equals to 5.2. So obviously these are in ohm, where R equivalent H and X equivalent H is equivalent series resistance and reactance of transformer referred to high voltage side. With full load on low voltage side at rated voltage, calculate the excitation voltage on the high voltage side. Okay, so we are giving this load on low voltage side, means load is on secondary side, and we have to find excitation voltage on high voltage side. So we have to find this supply voltage. So we will refer our secondary to primary or low voltage side to high voltage side to get this excitation voltage, and power factor is 0.8 lagging and 0.8 leading. Okay, so we have to find actually this excitation voltage for two different cases. In first case, load power factor is 0.8 and lagging, and in second case, load power factor is 0.8 leading, and we have to find voltage regulation of transformer in each case also. Let's solve the problem. The transformer given is 2000/200, hence A will be 2000 divided by 200, or N1 upon N2 equals to V1 upon V2, and here V1 is VH, VL is V2. So A is 2000 upon 200, that is 10, and also it is given that VL is 200 because we are given with full load on low voltage side at rated voltage. So VL is 2000, VL will be 200 because low voltage side rated voltage is 200, so VL will be 200. And since kVA rating of transformer is 20 kVA, so IL into VL will be 20K. So IL is kVA upon VL, and that will be 100 ampere. So it is a transformer, normal transformer. This is your high voltage side, this is low voltage side. Now we refer this secondary to primary or low voltage to high voltage, because I have to calculate this VH or V supply. So when we refer this to this side, this VL will be VL prime and IL will be IL prime, and VL prime will be A times VL and IL prime will be IL upon A. Hence VL prime is 2000 and IL prime is 10. Now again, using the this approximate formula for from voltage regulation, that V1 minus V2 can be I2 R2 cos theta 2 plus minus I2 X2 sin theta 2, plus for lagging power factor minus for leading power factor, and V1 will be what? V2 plus I2 R2 cos theta 2 plus minus I2 X2 sin theta 2. So V1 is actually what? This is this V1 is originally V2 no load, and this is equal to supply voltage, and V2 is V2 on full load. So using this formula, I can calculate VH like this. VH will be hence what? See, this is the circuit. So VH is what? VL prime plus IL prime RH cos theta. Here I have used phi as load angle. So VH is VL prime plus IL prime RH cos phi plus minus IL prime XS sin phi. And for lagging power factor we will use plus, and for leading power factor we will use minus. So case 1 is 0.8 lagging power factor. So for 0.8 lagging power factor, cos theta 2 or actually cos phi will be 0.8 lagging, and sin phi will be, this is not theta 2 and theta 2, this is phi actually. So cos phi will be 0.08 lagging and sin phi will be 0.6. So VH is what? VH will be 2000 plus IL prime is 10, RH given as 3, cos phi is 0.8, XS is 5.2 and sin phi is 0.6. So VH for 0.8 lagging power factor load will be this 2055.2 volt, and for this load voltage regulation will be VH minus VL prime divided by VL prime. So this, because this VL prime is actually V2 full load, so voltage regulation is this minus this divided by this, hence we will get this voltage regulation. Again when we again for this load which is 0.8 leading, we will have equation like VH will be VL prime plus IL prime RH cos phi minus XS sin phi. So in that case, cos, actually this is not theta 2, this is phi 2, phi, and this is also 5. So VH will be 2000 plus 10 time cos phi is 0.8 minus XS is 5.2 and sin phi is again 0.6. So VH will be 1992.8 volt, and hence voltage regulation will be this voltage minus this voltage divided by this voltage multiplied by 100. So VH minus VL prime upon VL prime, where VL prime is full load voltage. So this will be your voltage regulation for second case, which is 0.8 leading power factor load. So this is all about efficiency of a transformer and voltage regulation in a transformer. Thank you.